Welcome to another episode of Entrepreneurs in Fuego. We are documenting the journey of incredible entrepreneurs. And in fact, well-dressed entrepreneurs. In fact, extremely well-dressed entrepreneurs.
Are you talking about yourself?
How did you know? Dennis Collins, CFO expertise.
Correct.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing fantastic.
I'm gonna talk about your outfit first before anything else. You called me up and you said, you know what? It's kind of the end of the year. Do you mind if I dress up? I've got this party I'm going to go to and so forth. I'm like, this is your show, man. And I thought you were joking. But here you are.
Hey, what is what is. I told you.
Looking great. Looking great.
Thank you.
And you look the part. You are a CFO.
Correct.
Describe exactly, though, what you do and what your experience, what you have done in the past, and how that experience is complementing and emphasizing what you're doing today.
Absolutely. I was in corporate America years back, and unfortunately that company went into receivership.
Oh.
That being said, I was, not literally, but thrown out on the street, so to speak, when the company closed.
Right.
And I was faced with the task of, it was at a time when 9/11 and the economy was in the negative. I mean,
Sure.
It wasn't very conducive to business. So I ended up opening my own business. And the first challenge I had was with LinkedIn. Because everybody told me, you got to get on LinkedIn, you got to get on LinkedIn. And I'm like, what in the world is LinkedIn?
Right.
And so I copied and pasted from a resume and got my profile up and running. And that has changed my world. Not only from my world as a person and as an individual, but also as a businessman.
Because of the context that you have been able to make through LinkedIn?
Exactly,
Is that correct?
exactly.
Let me ask you a more technical question. So now you're on LinkedIn, and this is back just around 9/11. So you have your profile there. You've got all this experience, and you profile that on LinkedIn.
Correct.
A lot of us do that. How did you take advantage of your profile to, again, generate all these leads or generate all this activity?
I like to use the term, I learned to leverage LinkedIn, if you would.
Okay.
And how I did that was, I'm very much, as a person, I'm pretty much an introvert, and I was scared to face the world. I mean, it was like me calling and making appointments.
You're wearing a tux. How can you be an introvert, man? I mean, come on now.
Well, introverts can look good.
Look very good. All right, so you're an introvert, you're leveraging LinkedIn, and so you're introducing yourself to people through this platform.
Exactly. And what I did was, to make a long story short, I knew I had to get in front of notable, intellectually talented individuals who are accomplished and or who could possibly become a client. To make a long story short, I knew I had to get my name out there, and I knew I had to bring something to the table that would entice people to want to meet with me. And I came up with the verbiage of, for instance, it would say, I might find you on LinkedIn, and I would just say, Dear Francisco, I noticed we're both members of Alliances.
Yes.
I just wanted you to know, as a fellow member, that I noted your impressive profile on the group Alliances. I just wondered if, as a fellow member, you might be up for networking at Panera Bread so I can learn more about what you do and how to refer you respectively. So we are strangers, but yet it takes it in when I say we have a common group. Then I may say that in addition, you may notice that we're both linked to Glue, we have numbers, right, and Gene and David.
Who are different members
right.
of Alliances, correct. Okay.
So again, it takes it in from, we're in the same group and we know three of the same people. And then the last paragraph would say something to the effect of, it is my hope that during our meeting, that we will find synergies where we can help and refer each other respectively. And that has rocked my world.
So rather than taking a very direct used car salesman approach, if you will, buy me right now, you're saying, hey, look, very soft introduction. We have all these people that we know in common. I'm going to buy you coffee.
Right.
Permit me just to introduce myself and to see where I can help you.
Right.
And that has worked incredibly for you.
It's all about making it about them, not about you. What can I do for you, not what I do for you. What
For
you
yourself.
can do
Right.
for me, correct.
Right. And that has worked for you incredibly well.
If I could give a quick example.
Sure.
There was a gentleman in one of my groups, I don't remember which one it was, and it was quite a number of years ago. And I just thought, God, if I could get in front of him, it would be like getting in front of one of the disciples. That's how I approached it. And I used that template, and I reached out to him, and in less than 24 hours, I had a positive response from him on LinkedIn, welcoming a phone call with me because he was in New York. And if there would have been a hole, I would have fell in it. I was astounded.
Wow.
Because he's a nationwide, worldwide leader, and he teaches leadership at the C level, and then that information gets disseminated down to his attendees.
But here's the thing, though. That is just part of what you are doing, because you get the foot in the door. All right. But now you have to deliver.
Correct.
Now you have to stand behind this
Now
very
becomes the
nice
real work.
right. Now the real work. Now you have to really show your moxie.
Right.
As they say, right? And with that, what is it exactly that the CFO, what your business does for other businesses?
I help small to medium-sized businesses, typically up to around the $80 million range. I can do anything from customer profitability, so they would know by customer and by product line where they're making money and where they may not be and where they may need to change their product mix. I have done 243-page international budgets. I can pretty much delve in. I am a hands-on type CFO, and I can go into a company, and I'm also a corporate strategist, meaning that I can go in and see what their needs are, and I can make recommendations. And the main thing is I can bring results.
You mentioned something. So we can hire you as a temporary CFO.
Correct.
You don't have
or
to have,
interim.
Or interim. So that you can come in, look at the procedures that you have, the numbers that you have, and make suggestions accordingly.
Correct. And I have notable operations experience, HR experience, production experience. I've applied overhead to products. One of my biggest strong points is cost savings. I did a cost savings study at one of my clients, and it was relative to it was a strategical operational move, and I evaluated moving their inventory from Mexico to Laredo, Texas, and it was actually going to save them $1.5 million per year.
And you figured all this out, and they were not aware of this fact.
Correct.
When you go in, you said, I'm going to save you $1.5 million. And you didn't even have to really fire anybody in the process. You just
No, correct. It was a matter of moving inventory. Well, there was a couple of people because they were going to control the inventory, so we didn't need as many staff. But it wasn't
a mass layoff.
Right, a material amount of personnel. But I was able to save them $1.5 million a year. I'm all about cost savings.
And you did like a 234-page budget. 243 page budget.
Down to the last pen.
You know what my budget looks like? It's like a little paragraph like this. Spend this, don't spend this, because you ain't got this.
That's another thing I've done. I've actually implemented PO systems, which have helped companies control their costs.
It's very difficult to control costs, right? Particularly when you're making money, because
but when you use the PO system, you can control costs.
So we got to call you.
Absolutely.
You don't go to the interviews with the tuxedo, though, are you? Do you?
I don't know. Depends on the client, maybe.
Maybe that big client, maybe that big client from New York, the world leader or whatever. Yeah, I'd show up with that. Impress the heck out of him. Dennis. Finally, we can get to chat, man. I need like about 3 hours with you. So you're gonna have to come back again and again.
Oh, I'd be happy to.
Thank you.
You're
man.
awesome.
I appreciate it, man.
Yeah, you're awesome.
With that, we're out.